Good afternoon, dear students. I hope you all are fine. So, today I'm going to begin with the formalistic approach, or you can call it formalism. See, I feel that the nature of theories is a bit typical to understand, but I'm sure that if you read them seriously and if you try to understand them, seriously, then you will start loving these theories. You will start enjoying these theories. So don't take it just like a burden, because if you take anything just like a burden, it becomes a burden automatically. I mean, it can never enter your mind. So try to take it just like a fun, and try to focus on the technicalities of all these theories. I mean, what you have to do, you have to just keep some basic points in your minds, right? Anyways, so you all know that formalism is a modern approach, but if you analyze deeply and seriously, you'll find that it is as old as literary criticism in itself. Fine. Once again, I am going back to Aristotle because everything begins with Aristotle and his seminal book Poetics. Fine. And I hope you remember that in Poetics, Aristotle talks about the form of tragedy, and he also talks about his concept of tragic hero. Right. Now, about tragedy, he says that it is an imitation of an action that is serious, complete, and of certain magnitude. Then, defining a tragic hero, he says that he is an essentially noble individual and he suffers from a tragic flaw. And you can call it by the name of hamartia also. Basically, there is a confusion about these two words, tragic flow and hamartia. Some people feel that they both are same, but some people feel that they both are different. Bradley translates tragic flow as hamartia, but there is some difference between the two. I'll talk about it later. I hope you know the difference, and if you do not know the difference, please let me know. I'll talk about it. Fine. So, while defining a tragic hero, Aristotle says that he is an essentially noble individual and he suffers from a tragic flaw. Then, due to this tragic flaw, he falls from a high position to a low position. Means he falls from prosperity to misfortune. Right? Now, this fall of the hero from prosperity to misfortune, it should bring about a kind of catharsis, and that is basically giving way to the feelings of pity and fear. So, his fall should arouse the feelings of pity and fear. Then Aristotle says that a tragic hero should be, neither too good nor too bad. Why? Because if a tragic hero is too good, T-O-O, too good, then his fall from prosperity to misfortune, it will arouse neither the feelings of pity nor the feeling of fear. Right? What it will do? It will shock us. Whenever a saint suffers, so we feel neither pity nor fear for the suffering of that saint. Rather, we are shocked. Then, in the same way, Aristotle says that a tragic hero should not be too bad. Because if he is too bad, again, his fall from prosperity to misfortune, it will arouse neither the feeling of pity nor the feeling of fear. Rather, it would satisfy us. Whenever a villain suffers, So, do we feel pity or do we feel, fear? No. Rather, we feel satisfied. Thank God he was a villain and now he has got his real place. Fine. So, a tragic hero, according to Aristotle, he should be neither too good nor too bad because his fall from prosperity to misfortune, it should arouse the feelings of pity and fear in the hearts of the audiences. Fine. And if you remember, we feel pity or fear for someone who is like us. I mean, we feel pity or fear for a common man. I mean, we identify ourselves, with some common people. I mean, the people who are like us. I mean, the people who act like us, who react like us, who behave like us, who love like us, who hate like us, who weep like us, who become happy like us, who feel lost down and out like us. So why do you identify yourselves with Hamlet and Macbeth and Dr. Faustus? Because they act and react and behave like us. Okay, they are kings or commanders, but before these things they are common human beings. Right? So first they are common human beings and they are kings or emperors or commanders. Right? So, what I am trying to say is that we feel pity or fear for someone who is like us, who is like us. Say, for example, when you move towards the end of Dr. Faustus, where Dr. Faustus is praying to the Almighty, he is praying to Jesus Christ, and he's turning to all the objects of nature, and he's requesting all of them to save him. Oh God, please save me. I'll leave all these books aside. Oh Jesus Christ, please, please give me just one drop of blood. You saved the total humanity with your blood, so please give me just one drop of your blood to save me. I just want to live. He turns to the earth, he turns to the ocean. I mean, he turns to all the objects of nature for help, but nobody is coming to help him. So there, we feel pity for Dr. Faustus. And after that, this pity takes the form of fear. Why? Because we identify ourselves with Dr. Faustus and we feel that we also may be in the same situation in which Dr. Faustus is. Right? And it gives a kind of catharsis, that is purgation, purification, and clarification. So the tragic end of Dr. Faustus, it purifies our feelings, it purges our feelings, and it gives a lesson to we people that it gives a lesson to we people that we should not follow the footsteps of Dr. Faustus, and if we try to do so, we will also suffer like him, right? So, the fact is that we feel pity or fear for someone who is like us, and Dr. Faustus is like us. Okay, he was over ambitious, but we also can be over ambitious, right? And don't blame Dr. Faustus alone. He was a product of his own period. That was the period of Renaissance, when there was a spirit of questioning, right? Anyways, leave it. So, uh, a tragic hero should be neither too good nor too bad. And uh, you know, then I told you that we feel pity or fear for someone who is like us, right? Now, you know, this tragic flow. I'm just talking about, you know. So this tragic flow in character or tragic hero, it is a kind of blindness or lack of insight. Fine. And this blindness or this lack of insight, it results from arrogance. Arrogance means hubris. Fine. Then, during the course of the tragic action, The tragic hero comes to a moment of insight, and Aristotle calls it anagnorisis. And today, you can call it by the name of epiphany. Epiphany. Getting my point? You can call it epiphany. Aristotle calls it anagnorisis, means discovery of truth. And today you can call it, epiphany. Right? Anyways, finally, what happens? The tragic plot moves from blindness to insight. Fine. Then, as an imitation of a serious action, the tragic plot should be written in a dignified style. Aristotle says so in, you know, Poetics. Fine. Now, try to have a look at all these elements. Which are the elements? Tragic flow, anagnorisis, hubris, peripetia, catharsis, and dignified style. All these elements combining together, they are giving a kind of, or they are providing a kind of formal unity to tragedy. So tragedy has become complete only with the combination of all these elements. So when all these elements like tragic flow, anagnorisis, catharsis and dignified style, so when all these elements are combined together, so they give a kind of, organic unity to this word, and that is tragedy. I mean, they give a kind of, or they provide a formal unity to tragedy. So this is basically the essence of formalism. Right? Now try to understand this formalism. It assumes that a literary work is an organic unity, and in it, different elements contribute to the total meaning of the work. So different elements may be there or different elements are there, and these different elements contribute to the total meaning of the work of art. Means they provide a kind of totality, they provide a kind of organic unity to a work of literature. Right? Now, one thing is, very crucial, and you have to keep it in your minds. See, when we talk about these different elements, so here we must keep one thing in our minds, and this is that each element plays a crucial role in providing organic unity to a work of art. So you cannot say that only one element can provide totality to a work of art. No, all the elements combining together, they give organic unity to a work of art. So you cannot analyze any work on the basis of imagery alone, or on the basis of a style alone, or on the basis of tone alone, or on the basis of characterization alone, or on the basis of dialogues alone. Getting my point? So all these elements, combining together, they give totality to a work of art. Is that clear? So the fact is that this approach, it is as old as, literary criticism, but it was developed by the critics like John Crow Ransom, Alan Tate, T.S. Eliot, Roman Jakobson, Victor Slowski, and some other critics were also there. Right? Now try to understand. See, this formalism, it follows an objective theory of art. Fine. It follows an objective theory of art, and it examines plot, structure, imagery, tone, dialogue, and style to show how these elements play a crucial role to provide unity to a work of art. Getting my point? See, there are two ways to analyze any work of art. I mean, if you have to analyze Hamlet or Macbeth, or if you have to analyze any poem of John Keats or Shelley, so how can you analyze that work? See, you have to take into consideration the biography of the author, then you have to take into consideration the socio-political factors, And you have to take into consideration the historical milieu in which the work is written, because every author is the product of his you know, his or her own age. So every author is impacted by some personal circumstances. Every author is impacted by socio-political conditions, and every author is impacted by some historical milieu of his age, right? So the traditional way of analyzing a work of art is that you have to take into consideration, these factors, socio-political factors, economic factors, and the historical milieu, right? But formalism rejects, this traditional idea. Formalism assumes that while analyzing a work of art, we don't have to take into consideration these socio-political factors or historical milieu. But we can analyze a text on the basis of the text itself. I mean, the text is everything. Means the text is an autonomous body. The author is dead. There is nothing beyond the text. So, whatever meaning you have to find in a text, you can find it on the basis of certain elements. Getting my point? So, this approach says that literature has certain elements and some linguistic characteristics which provide a kind of specificity to this work of art. Getting my point? So this is the essence of formalism. Means the text is everything, there is nothing beyond the text. While analyzing any text, you don't have to take the help of the historical milieu or the socio-political factors, or you don't have to peep into the personal life of the author. The text is everything. So, whatever you have to analyze, you must analyze only on the basis of the reading of the text. And that you can do with the help of, plot, characterization, imagery, tone, and some other things. So, this is the essence of formalism. I hope this is clear to you.